Hi, JD here at a major shopping centre on the Gold Coast, and I just thought I'd do a quick Facebook Live because sometimes in the marketing world that I'm in, you can see some classic mistakes and you can see how they could have been avoided. Let me show you this particular centre. That was a butcher last week. It's closed up now, but that was a butcher last week. And a little bit further over there, if you can just see at the top middle of your screen at the moment, you can see the lab. That was a fish shop. Well, a pretty classy upmarket fish shop. Now both that one has gone and this butcher shop has gone. Let me ask you why you think they might have gone. It might have gone, I should say. Have a look what's in front of them. Okay. If you were running a shopping centre, do you think that you would probably put all of that fruit and veggies in front of other shops? Look, I'm not a tenant of this shopping centre, but if I was, on your left-hand side of your screen there, you will see what was a butcher last week, a very expensively set out butcher, by the way, and now he's gone. And do you think there might be a common denominator why he went and why a little bit, I can't do close-ups unfortunately with Facebook Live, but on the top of your screen at the middle there, you'll see the lab. That was a really beautiful fish and chip restaurant come shop. And guess what? Both of them have gone broke by the looks of it. I don't think they just closed up because they got sick of doing their business. I think there could be a common denominator. Have a look what you think it might be. Can you see the obstructions in front of those two shops? I just scratch my head, I really do, from time to time. I come from a shopping centre background, by the way. I used to work with shopping centre developers, and I don't think that if I was making decisions that I would actually, I think that if I was actually one of the tenants and I had all of this stuff in front of my shop, I think I would be complaining. So the reason I bring this up is there are some very basic mistakes that people make in marketing, and frankly, one of them is the presentation of their store. And I'm talking about bricks and mortar business at the moment. If you're an online business, it's the presentation of your website, of course. But really, when it's all said and done, first impressions are lasting impressions. And if your first impression, excuse me whilst I turn the camera around, if your first impression was a shop front like that, okay, and now that was a shop last week, that was a butcher shop last week, but if your first impression was being obscured by all of this stuff outside your shop, I think I'd be talking to the people who are leasing this place and saying, excuse me, would you be able to look at the traffic that's going along where the shops were, where the butcher shop was and where the fish shop was, compared to the mainstream traffic. I mean, I've probably picked it at the wrong moment when I've turned the camera around, but there's a hell of a lot more traffic going past here for good reason. And the reason is that they're not being obscured by all of this stuff out in the mall. Anyway, enough of my rant. I just thought I'd do that because sometimes you see these silly mistakes. I've set up a web page called thebusinesswhisperer.com.au. I know that sounds very vain, but I've set that up because I'm planning to actually do a lot more of these Facebook Lives where in the offline world, the bricks and mortar world, I can actually stand outside the business and go, you know what? As the business whisperer, I think this place has got a good chance of closing down because of A, B, C, D. I think it might be interesting. I don't know whether you do, but I think it might be interesting to do that. It'd be interesting to see how many of my predictions come true. I've done this on a number of occasions where I've put the camera, well, before Facebook Live was invented, I put the camera around and take a photo of a particular bricks and mortar business, whether it was a restaurant or a cafe, or a butcher shop, or whether it was a hair salon, and I'd actually say, look, I don't think they're going to be around very much longer, and sure enough, 2 or 3 months later, they're not, so I think I might show off about that, thebusinesswhisperer.com.au. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, guys. Really, first impressions are lasting impressions, and if your first impression is being obscured by a semi-trailer in front of your business, there's a pretty good chance that people aren't going to see it. All the best. Have a good weekend.